During 2017, I participated in an innovative rehabilitation program for complex post-traumatic stress disorder. I came away with an unintended, remarkable body of painting works and greatly improved quality of life. My background as an artist, creative arts therapist and medical scientist enabled me to invite my treating practitioners and colleagues to come together in fostering education and conversation about the Sensitised Central Nervous System and my recovery. Here is one of several offerings.
Okay, well, welcome everybody to this Colour by Numbers Art Meets Neuroscience. I have been charged with emceeing the event and being the stickler for times, so I will be kind of making signs when things are done and when to move on and so forth. My name is Jan Allen. I have been involved as a creative arts therapist, educator for a long time, about 25 years, and have various connections with a number of people here today and also people on the panel. And I'll just explore that in a moment. But before we begin the formalities of the afternoon, I would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude for being here with you all today and meeting on the ancestral lands of the Aboriginal people. I would like to acknowledge the first Australians as the traditional custodians of the continent, whose cultures are among the oldest living cultures in human history. And I pay respects to the elders of the community and extend my recognition to their descendants who are present. I would also like to extend my thanks and appreciation to the Hawthorn City Galleries, in particular the staff who have really worked incredibly hard with Victoria to enable the exhibition in the first place and the beautiful curation of that and this event today. So many, many thanks to the gallery staff. Before I get on to introductions, just a few housekeeping matters. As you are probably aware, there are cameras in the room. The event will be filmed, but we'll only be filming the presenters. So just to be reassured that none of the audience will be involved in the filming of this event. The second thing, you've all acquired a number of pieces of paper that were on your seats. Just to let you know, one of those, as you probably are aware, describes the sequence of the afternoon and something of the time frames and the details of that. More of that will become evident as we go on. Another concerns the artworks in the gallery that Victoria has produced, and that will become much more relevant when you travel downstairs to have a look at the exhibition. There's also, I believe, a blank piece of paper, and you all have markers. This is to enable you to jot down any responses, offer Victoria an image or two, or formulate a question, and I think Victoria's going to talk a little bit more about that. One other thing, if anyone here does experience any distress from the content of the material that's being discussed, we would invite you to feel free to leave, take a break, sit outside, have a cup of tea, return, whatever works for you. And there's a little bit of information that's presented also around a description of complex post-traumatic stress disorder. So, my job, first of all, is to introduce the people that will be presenting this afternoon. And each one of these people has been in various ways connected with Victoria over a number of years. And each one has contributed to the story that has been expressed through the Colour by Numbers exhibition. First of all, I would like to introduce Victoria. Most of you may well know Victoria, who's sitting at the end there. And then what I'd like to do is just a very brief introduction to the other panel members in terms of how they've connected with Victoria over a number of years. And then I'll do a more formal introduction when each person just before they present. So Victoria is a person of many talents, as most of you probably know. She's a creative arts therapist, a therapeutic arts educator, a medical scientist, an artist, and practices in Melbourne. Late in her undergraduate medical education, she departed to pursue a special interest in creative arts, the healing arts, and the role of creativity in developing well-being. She completed a Master's in Experiential and Creative Arts Therapy and also a Bachelor of Medical Science, with research areas of interest that include medical training related to child sexual abuse, new ways of being with mood disorders and chronic illness, and social and emotional learning. Victoria's been in private practice as an artist and delivered a number of programs in the community and in primary and secondary schools. She is currently engaged in pursuing a full-time personal arts practice. So, now the connections. When Victoria was studying medicine at the University of Melbourne in the mid-1990s, she connected with Dr. Margaret Jin New, known as Dr. Jin, or Jin. So this is Dr. Jin New, and the connection was that Dr. New became a mentor for Victoria over that period of time, and also later became Victoria's medical practitioner. And I'm imagining that more of those relationships will be unfolded later on in the event. So that was perhaps the first connection. The second connection happened around about 2003. I'm not great with dates, but I think it's around 2003, when Victoria and Hasana, Dr. Hasana Breedis, who's sitting next to Victoria, met when they studied creative arts therapies together at the MIECAT Institute. And my connection is that I was both Hasana's and Victoria's thesis supervisor at that time. And last year when Victoria and I were chatting about the potential of this event, we talked about contacting Hasana, knowing that both these people have a shared interest in arts therapy, in trauma, in neuroplasticity, and in the arts generally. Moving a little bit closer to the present day, 2015, Victoria had a period of extreme unwellness, and through various connections met with Dr. Paul Noon, who is sitting here in the beautiful shirt. They had one meeting together at that time and decided that the time wasn't quite right to begin working together, but about 18 months later, in 2016, Victoria and Paul began working together and have been collaborating since that time to today. So that's the kind of the web of connections.